Welcome back to the Product Owner Podcast. This is part 3 with Kim Bosman. In the previous parts we discussed the environment, the introduction and working with the teams, which in Kim's case is mainly working with the product owners who then work with the teams and attending the review of the main product that's in our value stream. In this part we'll discuss how Kim works with stakeholders, and I believe we will also talk about a very special stakeholder group. But let's first start hooking up with the previous part. You mentioned you need the confidence from the board, get the space to innovate and break loose from the old management style. Yeah. This is a part of stakeholder management, creating the agile room that there is needed to work, really delegate decisions to the team. So how did you approach this? How did you collaborate with the stakeholders to get them to understand how this works and accept it?
So when you start building your value stream, it's not that everything was in place. I started a year ago and there was a handful of people, maybe 15, but we still needed to get the stakeholders in place. And then you're looking through the organization and sometimes they move people towards you and say, this is someone who needs to be a stakeholder in your value stream. And I think, well, this one has an old-fashioned management style. I don't want that one to be a stakeholder. And that's sort of a game that went on in the beginning. I was really looking for people that understand the mindset and can give the space that we need and think big and act as an ambassador. So the people I have 4 stakeholders at the moment. Without them, I couldn't be successful. So they really pave the path in the moments that it's necessary. They stand there, they help, ambassadors. Yeah.
Cool. So you also mentioned in your introduction that you want to select or be involved in the selection of the people that do the actual work in the teams with the product owners.
Yeah.
And what I hear you say now is that you also try to have a very strong hand in selecting who you wanted to work with as a stakeholder.
Yeah. Same goes for business owners. So we have business owners tell the product owners what they want. Of course, within the vision that we created together. And same goes for the business owners. There were a few people that were moved forward that I thought didn't have the skills to be able to operate in the agile mindset. But it's sort of a political game. You don't want to disqualify a person. It's not about a person. There's nothing personal about it.
Yes.
But I need people with a certain mindset to be able to move forward in the way we want to do the game.
Yeah, I really like the fact that you took ownership of creating the environment for your value stream and your products in the end to be successful. Yeah. So I think that's a really good lesson. Don't just let stuff happen to you, but see how you can influence the environment and you use almost the stakeholders to your advantage instead of just saying, okay, if you want this to be my stakeholders, I'll try to work with them and see what happens.
No, sometimes you can try it, but if it doesn't work, move aside, move forward, or get other people on board. Yeah. But it's also, so you see that the program really has this agile structure and a governance around it, and the standing organization has the typical structure, and it doesn't always work. And I think one of the key learnings is that both parties shouldn't be rigid in their way of working, and we really need to build the bridge and find each other. And I think I put a lot of effort in trying to pick the people up in their own country without eliminating the governance that we have within our program.
Okay, cool. And can you maybe give an example of one of the stakeholders that really does a good job, that really helped you or your teams when they were blocked or stuck or running into an organizational impediment, so to say? Can you share something around that?
Yeah, I must say all 4 of them are all very important.
Yes.
the main area where I needed my stakeholders is in aligning the business with its typical structure and how we operate as a program, especially management feeling out of control, having no idea how we are working, not always seeing what's going on, wanting to get involved, but if there's no direction, no line with a certain manager, I almost don't even talk to them. And getting those stakeholders in place to get these worlds combined. Yeah, that's the field.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And well, you mentioned in the previous part getting the confidence from the board. In many cases, for product owners, the CEO of a company or the head of a department where they operate is a very important stakeholder, but also often the most difficult stakeholder because they are removed, as you say, with some people you don't have direct lines of communication. So, but they have a lot of influence.
Yeah.
So, how do you work with the board to take them along on the agile journey and restore maybe their sense of control that they feel they have lost in the process?
Yeah. Well, you see that we operate as a team with the whole program. So there's the top level of the program is really interacting with the board, and at some moments in time, I have an opportunity to do a deep dive on the product that we're building, what we're doing within the value stream, and those are the crucial moments. So that's where I tell the story of what have we accomplished, how did we get there. But I think the most powerful part in that is that I show confidence, enthusiasm, thinking big, knowing what we're doing, and sort of branding what we are building, creating there, because I only have a few minutes. Try to explain Wilbur in a few minutes, that's quite difficult.
Yeah, you cannot give a full product demo of the current situation probably.
No. Yeah. But I just make sure that, first of all, Wilbur looks fabulous. We have a lot of designers on it. And it's branded, it works, it lives, everyone knows what Wilbur is, and that really helps,
Yeah, and you, as you mentioned, you have very limited time. Yeah. What is the most important thing you feel you have to convey to these very important people that probably decide about the funding of the project, etc.?
Yeah, show the enthusiasm in what you believe in, and show that I really believe in what I'm doing. Of course, I have my director that I'm working for that believes it and shows that in that same moment. But it's being able to give that confidence, show that I'm confident in what I'm doing. I think that's very important.
Yeah, so really, and this also I think joins in with what you said earlier about people being sincere and honest, and so you have to show the confidence that what you're doing is good and is something to be enthusiastic about, but I think it has to be sincere, right? You cannot put on an act, because these people are very experienced. They can sniff out bullshit very easily. So you have to really have a good story there and then bring it. Yeah,
so I make it big, but it's not filled with air.
Exactly. Yes. Okay, that's very good advice. Is there any other stuff you do to influence stakeholder management within the value stream, or maybe it's interesting to mention a bit about...
I think something, So we still have the elements of Scrum, demos, for example.
Yes.
And on program level, every 2 weeks we have a DAP, Digital Airport Program demo, where all the streams demo their core product and the value that has been delivered in the 2 weeks' time. And that is the moment where we get stakeholders from all the levels. So my direct stakeholders, my business stream owner, so the director of operations that I'm building this for, people from the board. It are those moments that people come together. And it's also the different way of working, whereas normally it are those people that are used to getting served on their time. We ask them to come to our time on the demo.
Yeah, so it's your planning, your cadence, and they come to you. In your work environment also, or is it?
Yeah, well, there's a bigger setting where we have multiple demos going on at the same time.
something like a market? Or
sort of, yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And is everyone from every value stream there, or is it a delegation?
They should be.
They should be. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So it's an all hands meeting.
We try. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you influence or encourage direct interaction between the teams and like the business stakeholders and the value stream stakeholders and the board, or is that something that happens naturally for you? How do you do that?
I do encourage it.
Yes.
But there's a limit to it. You need to really think about when do you involve someone.
Yeah.
But yes, absolutely. Yeah, we last couple of months we worked on an automated delivery street, and we are very proud about it. Mm-hmm. And those are the things I really want the board to see it. And there's enthusiasm and nieuwsgierigheid. Curiosity.
Yeah.
So we invite them, and I don't even join that meeting. It are the developers and the product owner that talk directly to someone from the board and explain and in their passionate state what they've accomplished. And
yes, so there's a lot of pride about their accomplishments. And just like when you talk to the board, they are sincerely proud, enthusiastic, and they can also bring that story and
sincere.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's very nice to hear. I'm getting a bit enthusiastic myself, even just discussing it. So that's very nice. For me, this is enough about stakeholder management. Again, if there's anything you'd like to add.
I think we covered it.
Cool. Then we're going to move on to the next part. And in the next part, we will discuss closing the feedback loop. Also something you mentioned in the earlier part. And let's see what kind of metrics you use and how you steer to optimize value. Okay. So please join us in the next part.